So free agency was able to resume today after the expansion draft at 8 a.m. And when I awoke this morning at 9, I received news that the New York Islanders have acquired Jordan Eberle from the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for Ryan Strome. Looking at this trade, at the moment, it looks like, in my opinion, the New York Islanders have won this trade. But it's not as lopsided as it may seem. And I think that this was a fair trade for both teams. For the Islanders, they finally get a winger who will produce offensively with John Tavares. Comparing the numbers of Strome and Eberle, it's not even close. Just looking at their point totals over the last 3 years together, Eberle has 161, 69 of them being goals, and over that period, Ryan Strome has only been able to score 38 times. With that, Eberle should be able to boost the Islanders' scoring, which was solid, which I believe it ranked 10th during the regular season. And it also helps spread out the offense, especially with up-and-coming guys like Joshua Hosang and Anthony Beauvillier, and the emergence of Anders Lee. Most importantly, though, Eberle and Tavares have played together. They were line mates with Team Canada at the 2009 World Junior Hockey Championship, and they had the most famous goal in the tournament's history, quote unquote. But to this day, the two still remain in touch, so the chemistry shouldn't really be an issue. Of course, they're going to have to work on it, as they haven't been playing together, as they were both on separate teams. But Eberle, who has 2 years left on his contract at $6 million per, as Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, and Taylor Hall were both extended on those 6 year, $6 million per contracts. And it's interesting to see how this is going to work out for the Islanders. Eberle didn't have an amazing season. He had a solid season. He scored 20 goals. He's scored 20 goals over the past 3 or 4, I believe 5 seasons now. His performance in the playoffs wasn't that great. He was at one point sent to play on the third line pairing. But it was clear that he really did need a change of scenery. And looking at this at the Oilers' standpoint, this now gives them the opportunity to shed about $3 million, 2.5 in salary. They won't have to worry about paying Eberle $6 million a year for the next 2 seasons, and they take on a young former fifth overall pick in Ryan Strome, who he might have needed a change of scenery too. I wouldn't call him a bust right now. I'd give it a few, like 1 or 2 more seasons, but the Islanders at this point did not want to wait any longer for him to become a productive NHL scorer. So now Edmonton might be getting a slightly less gifted offensive forward in the deal, but now they have the cap space to try and extend guys beginning July 1st, where they're trying to extend both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, who will at one point become restricted free agents. And it's not weird to think that Draisaitl, out of the both of them, could demand the same amount of money as Jordan Eberle, probably even more, I believe, from the $6 to $8 million per season range. And Connor McDavid is essentially probably going to be the highest paid hockey player in the history of the NHL. There's rumblings going that he might get $14 million per season, and if you're asking me, I think Connor McDavid, with the exception of Sidney Crosby, is the only player in the National Hockey League, or hockey in general, that would be able to demand a contract like that. And if Edmonton wanted to lock those two up, they're going to need a lot of money to do so. They shredded, like I said before, $3.5 million in cap space, and that, according to Cap Friendly, would give them $24 million heading into next season, when Draisaitl's next contract will kick in, and then the year after that, Connor McDavid's entry-level deal will be over. And with that, I according to TSN, as it hasn't officially been announced, the Oilers and defenseman Chris Russell are close to a 4-year, $4 million per extension. So the move of Eberle allowed them to go out there and re-sign a key player, especially on their defense when they don't really have as much talent as they have offensively. So this might seem as an Islander victory for now, but it's neck and neck. I think it might be a fair trade, though I think that the Islanders have a higher ceiling and a higher potential to do so. But at the same time, Edmonton could have definitely have won this trade if they're able to extend Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, and if they bring in Chris Russell on another extension, that's even better. So we'll have to see if the Islanders have anything else in store. It's rumored that they still might go after Matt Duchene. I don't know if they have the prospect, they want to give up the prospects to get him, or if they go after Alex Galchenyuk in Montreal, which I think he might be easier to trade for. I feel like if any of the two were to happen, I think they'd be able to get Galchenyuk for maybe, if even possible, it might be fair to say that you could trade Travis Hamonic straight up for Galchenyuk, but we'll have to see as the free agency period begins July 1st. Obviously, Duchene nor Galchenyuk are free agents, but leading up to that point, it should be fun. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.